Taco Bell is now on DoorDash in Port St. Joe. That's right, you can enjoy craveable tacos, burritos, and more delivered right to your door. Craving a late-night snack? Taco Bell in Port St. Joe has you covered. Open until 1, 7 days a week. Plus, start your day off with their delicious breakfast menu, available until 10 a.m. Taco Bell, where the craveable comes true. Taco Bell, now on DoorDash in Port St. Joe.
Go Tiger Sharks.
Get ready to connect. ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest rock stars to the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. Grunt Inc., Mad Hoss Signs, Prop Wick Construction, Streak Seekers, The Bun Lab, and The Park at PCB.
We're here to champion your success and connect you with this amazing community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, reaching Bay County and beyond.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Are you looking to invest in rare coins and precious metals? Well, look no further. Coin and Bullion Reserves is Bay County's trusted source for rare coins and precious metals. Located in the heart of Panama City, our showroom is stocked with a vast selection of gold and silver bullion, rare coins, and currency. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned collector, we have what you're looking for. Our sales staff has over 50 years of experience to help guide you through your purchase. Come and visit Coin and Bullion Reserves today and build your collection with confidence.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Kurt Price, you're back on the program. Why are we calling it permission to party?
Certain times you get a permission to party, and it's always when the person that doesn't drink says, I don't know, do you want to do a specialty cocktail tonight? And you're like, I just got permission to party. That energy is the reason I party. And the reason I'll never stop partying. We turned on the hot tub last night, and Leanne goes, should we open a bottle of rosé? And immediately I go, oh, we're getting lit tonight. Like, that energy is what I'm looking forward to.
Rich Eisen weekdays starting at 11, now on ESPN Northwest Florida.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What time it is. It's 4 o'clock on this Wednesday, hump day. We're pumped up and we're so glad that you've decided to join us here at the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're all jacked up today. We got everything that we're going to talk about. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're your home for all things college football and NFL football. Don't forget to check those things out. We got the game of Louisville and Miami this weekend on Friday. It will start right after the show. We'll pick up right after the show on that day. And then don't forget, tomorrow night, Steelers at Bengals. Thursday night football coverage starts at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7:15. We want to do that. Now, not as always, because it's not an as always Wednesday, but Monday we were off. We had to celebrate Columbus Day. So we got Brian Haddad here on a Wednesday. We're blessed. How you doing, Brian?
I feel like I live here today.
That is right. Did you have a good weekend?
I got to watch a really good bit of college football, which was great. Not as much with the pro and not as much baseball, unfortunately, because we were a busy weekend. We had Super Saturday at PCB Hobby, but I did get to watch some good college football, and so it was a good time. But I'm actually looking forward to. I'm actually headed out to Sin City tomorrow.
Oh,
so
come on!
I get to bet this weekend in the sports book. So. Might have you solicit your listeners for some thoughts on some bets I could lay while I'm out there.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea because we got some listeners. They know
for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, and don't forget if you have a problem with betting, you can do 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Yeah.
And as always, on a Wednesday, we got the Bone Crusher crushing the ones and the twos. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
Doing good, man. It's like without Jeff here, you can actually see all the stuff that's written down about his
That's right.
wide body obstructing the view. Yeah, it is.
Wow.
His hair.
Wide body
What
hair.
happened? He run out of moose? Where is he today?
Yeah, he had to go get a haircut. It takes a long time. No, so actually Jeffrey is on an airplane as we speak right now, headed to Lexington, Kentucky to see the the UK Kentucky Wildcats versus the Texas Longhorns. So we'll be checking out that game. I think that actually is going to be, to me, one of those games that's going to be pretty close, I think. I think Kentucky will be able to run the football, which is going to be key for what they like to do. And Tennessee or Texas, depends on what Arch Manning shows up, I believe.
Sure. I mean, that line looked low when it came out. I think it's at 12.5.
Yeah.
Which seemed low for a Texas team that got it. It's ship-righted, this weekend. But, you're right. I mean, it could be one of those things that, heading in there and you never know. And maybe this is Kentucky Super Bowl and, who knows.
Yes, and it's probably going to be a little chilly. So, have a little crisp in the air. So, and that's the thing. When I was living in Kentucky, the fans there, yes, they're not maybe, LSU crazy, Alabama crazy, Ohio State crazy, but they're crazy.
They are about basketball.
And they get fired up. So, and that's the big deal. So either way, pretty awesome opportunity for him. He's going to call in tomorrow because he's, this is the thing about Jeff. Jeff likes to win in picks. We're doing the pick 'em for this year for football, for college football, and for the NFL. And Jeff's leading right now. And he seems to every day let everybody know that he... But we did find out something unique about what he does. And that is that he thinks that before the game starts, if he does decide to change his pick, he can change his pick.
Well, of course.
So I'm still kind of up in the air on that one, but I'm not.
I get it. I mean, I understand the thought of, look, the game hasn't started yet, but...
Yeah, I'm like, well, when we say it at the station, at the studio, that's where...
I'm always afraid to change because I'll be the guy who changes off of a winner. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to the Red 70s phone line. We got Edward on the line from San Antonio, Texas. Edward, how you doing, my friend?
What is going on, guys? I love calling in at least once a week, just keep in touch with y'all. Y'all got all this great information, so I got some questions, and I'm pretty sure y'all got answers, right?
All right, man. I mean, we can try. We got the professor. I know he's a coach, but Professor Brian Haddad's in the building today, so he'll help us out.
I can sound smart with the best of them.
Mr. Brian, you sound like a genius, sir. You sound like Einstein.
There we go.
All right.
Let's do it. Hey, what about them Dodgers, baby? What about them Dodgers?
Oh, man. I mean, you tell me. I mean, what in the world?
Don't tell me.
They're doing so good.
So that is a team that is playing with absolute confidence.
Yes.
Those guys are so comfortable in the postseason. It stresses what experience in the postseason means.
That's right.
And those guys came into the postseason. They look calm as could be. I'm sure their fans were a little bit worried, thinking, we weren't as good as we should have been this year. We got this great roster. And every single inning they've played in the postseason, even the game they lost against Phillies, they've looked comfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can say that even about, the Mariners are killing it, but they still don't look comfortable the way the Dodgers do.
Right.
It is a calm confidence that it's scary if you're playing them. Yeah, spooky is right.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta look at the starting pitching. I mean, good night.
Yeah.
What about Blake Snell? Him being out all year for the most part, coming in there fresh.
Yamamoto goes the distance last night. I mean, it's amazing.
Now, when it comes to situations like that, is it a mentality thing? Like, hey, the Dodgers are up 2-0. They're already the past World Series champions. Like, if you're the Brewers, aren't y'all thinking, like, man, like, we got the odds against us? I mean, we're still in it. You can still win, obviously, but still, like, hey, we're down 2-0. These guys are the best. What's up? What do they need to figure out?
In a weird way, the Brewers might be in a pretty good spot now because I understood the first two games. You're at home. Mm-hmm. You're kind of expected, all right, this is our shot. We're the top team. You're a little nervous, whatever like that. They've come in and kind of controlled you for two games. I mean, look, game one was a great game.
Yeah.
They kind of controlled you in game two, but now you can almost shift your mindset to, what do we have to lose?
Yeah.
They came in 1-2 in our spot. Let's just go out and have fun and play ball. Now, at this point, everyone expects them to sweep us. So they might actually have a bit of a, kind of a better mental, mindset going into this and just go, let's just go out and have fun and play, man. And it'll be interesting to see how game 3 goes.
Yeah, it's kind of kamikaze baseball. Like, hey, if we're going to go, let's just go for it all.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah. Like, I could understand them being tight at home games 1 and 2. There's expectation. I think, like I said, now if I'm the Brewers right now, I'm like, everybody thinks we're going to get swept. Let's just go have fun.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing about it is that when you go against a team like the Dodgers, I mean, let's just be honest. Nobody in baseball would have beat them these 2 games with the pitching that they've had. There's just possibly no possible way. And so when you look at it, I think they also got to have that mentality. Look, if they'd have pitched like that against any other team, they would have done the same thing. Let's start, 1-0 right now and just keep going. That's the only thing I could say that possibly could. But what Brian said is it. Just go for broke, swing for the fences, so to speak, in everything you do.
There you go. All right, guys, I'm going to keep listening to y'all. I got to clean house, do laundry, do the dishes, do all that fun stuff. But I'm going to listen to y'all. Y'all keep up the great work, and we'll holler at y'all next time.
All right, Edward. Thank you, man. We appreciate you. It's...
later, y'all. Peace.
I mean, it's a good position to be, and I don't want to confuse it by saying that the Brewers need to just take chances and all. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Go play ball. I think the pressure can be off. I don't think they need to press. I don't think they need to, try anything crazy different, hitting runs and swinging for, fence on, a 3-0 count or something.
Right.
I just think they need to go play baseball. Stop worrying about what if we don't, and just go play ball.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at it, you've got to just say what got us here. Yeah. Really, what got us here is the way we play our style of baseball. And with them being young, I get it. The moment is big. It's huge. It's the first time to be there for a lot of those guys.
The same thing with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, same deal.
I mean, it's the same kind of thing. It's and look, I'm not saying that the Mariners are well experienced. They really aren't, but Blue Jays, a team that's looked really good, has a home field advantage, comes right out. They're tight games 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're not
kidding. The Mariners, as much as I hate to make this comparison, they kind of remind me of the 2004 Red Sox in the way they approach the game.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They don't know they shouldn't do things.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have Schilling and, I get that, but they're just kind of fun in that regard. They seem to be a team that doesn't know that Seattle's never been to the World Series, that doesn't know that they're not supposed to be able to do this kind of thing. They just go out and they do it.
Yeah, and it seems like the pressure to do that is not there for them. It just seems like, well, hey, we're out here to play baseball.
Brewers and Blue Jays both look tight to me.
Yeah. And they do, and that's exactly right. I mean, and you know how it works for baseball. Your main guys, if you look at what happened with the Yankees, their guys outside of Judge didn't show up. You look at the Phillies, you had Trey Turner, you had Bryce Harper. All of those guys did not hit
Phillies
very well.
surprised me.
Yeah, they didn't hit very well.
I thought they were primed to be. I really thought they were going to be world champions this year.
That's what their expectation was. Even when they interviewed Schwarber, he was just like, "Man, we really believe that this was our year," and that's the thing. And I believe really when you look at it is exactly what you're saying is that pressure of saying, "Hey, this is it."
Yeah.
if you just play without that, and it's easier said than done, obviously, but when you look at the way the Mariners are playing, that's a great correlation there.
The Mariners are playing. I mean, the Blue Jays are what if we don't. The Mariners are what if we do. I mean, it's so small a difference in words, but it's such a totally different mindset.
And I mean, when you look at the Dodgers, how they play, they just play with this. It is the confidence, and it's just like, gosh, we know what we're going to do. And, it's kind of funny when you look at their stats. It's, Freddie Freeman, it's the Kiki Hernandez, it's those guys, Tommy Edman, however you pronounce it, Edman. And when you look at it, you're not mentioning Shohei's, clearing all the bases for him and all that. And it's just like, that's just Dodger baseball.
It's just, all those guys. I mean, they're solid. And it's like they're playing chess and everybody's playing checkers. I mean, they are so supremely confident and calm. It's something to watch. I mean, you don't see that stark of a difference the way I've seen it this year with them. They're on a different level.
Yeah, because the Dodgers teams of past, back in Lasorda days, the Yankees team with Joe Torre and all of those guys, they still, you could tell there were tight moments where they were tight. But these guys just seem like they're having fun, they're laughing, they're carrying on, and they're just so confident, and they're so good.
It's like they have the answers to the test. I mean, really. I mean, that's the way they're approaching things.
And that's the thing. I mean, with the way it's set up, and obviously we're not saying that they're going to, we're going to have sweeps on both sides. It could change. Yeah. But man, seeing the Dodgers and the Mariners coming together, having a West Coast deal going on over there, and people are going to be like, "Oh, who wants to see that?" Well, I'll tell you this: a true baseball fan would want to see that.
Well, I think because you basically have three small market teams and then the evil empire, short of the Yankees involved. I think the most compelling matchup would be one of those versus the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The Mariners make a great story because they're the only team in Major League Baseball who has never been to the World Series.
True.
Which is incredible. When you think of that, means the Rockies have, that means the Rays have, those kind of things. But also, I mean, the Mariners had and they may still have the regular season record for wins in 2001. It's amazing to think with all the players that they've had and the teams that they've had, they've never made it, let alone win it. So it'd be a great story if they got there. The West Coast thing is fine, but having an underdog versus the evil empire is a good story. I mean, nothing against Milwaukee. It's a better story than Milwaukee against Seattle or Milwaukee against Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the marquee matchup you could have is Seattle versus LA.
Yeah, and that one makes the most sense. And when it would be the David versus Goliath moment, and having a two-time back-to-back world champion. That narrative, plus the year that Kyle Riley's had, leading his team, and obviously Julio Rodriguez is having a great series so far, but then the young pitching that they have and some of the younger stars that they have, it's just amazing to see, and it's fun to watch because you're not sure how it's going to play, but then you look at it and you're like, man, it really could be Seattle and the Dodgers, and when you're talking about those guys, then you're going to have, you'll have the big, the kid that, is throwing the 100 miles an hour. Is it going to be him versus Shohei as a starting game? And you got all of these storylines. The question I do have for you, because we talked about it a little bit, what do you think now if Kyle Riley catapults his team? Obviously, he hasn't hit any home runs in this series yet, but what if, say, the clinching game that sends him to the World Series, he hits a home run or hits, base hit or something like that to knock in the run? Does that push that MVP race over? Because, I mean, it does matter. It does.
I was going to say it's not supposed to, but we all know it has to matter. It has to play into voters' minds. And I don't know why I thought Raleigh hit one in game one, but I'm looking right now. But I still think Judge is probably going to win it. I think, and this is not a personal thing. I would have voted for Raleigh this year. But, Raleigh hit a home run in game one.
He did hit one. Okay.
Not in game two.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think the average is the thing with Judge. And I know there's fatigue, but to me, in a weird way, this is probably Judge's best of the MVP years. I mean, the 62 looked sexy, but this is a better year.
Yeah.
Because he did it more balanced across the board, and the average matters. So I honestly think Judge is going to win it. I would vote for Cal Raleigh. I think he's been, if you look at the epitome of the phrase, most valuable to their team.
Yeah.
I think he has been. It's not to say Judge wasn't.
Right.
Cal Raleigh, not just in what he did with statistics, but he was like the spark of that team.
That's right.
You know, so.
And the first time the other night, I think it was the first game, he actually had his first pass ball of the season. Yeah. And that was crazy. I was watching the game and I was just like, oh no. And my wife's like, what? And I was like, it's a pass ball. And she's like, yeah, we see those all the time. I'm like, not with Kyle Riley, you don't. Yeah. And that was the other answer is like, okay, does the glove matter at all about the MVP voting? And I obviously think it does, but it's not even a tenth of a point of what I would think.
It's not as much as it probably should be.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it's going to matter. I think you're going to come down to the key statistics, and especially in a year where nobody's hit for average, and Aaron Judge, who has not ever been seen as a guy who hits for average, has led the league by 14 points or whatever he won it by. I can't remember what it ended up being. I just got this feeling he's going to carry that one through. And I know people are going to hate it because that'll be 3 out of 4 for Judge and 3 in a row for Ohtani, but I think that's where we're going.
Yeah, we'll go there, I'm sure. But, it is amazing just to see him hit that good because he hit that good all year long. It was always above. I mean, he stayed above 300. I think he stayed above 3. Did he end up with 314? I think that's what.
I don't remember where he ended up.
It was like 314 or something. But
let's see.
Either way, I'm just so. I'm an average guy anyway, and that's what I like. So, I would probably, with
Judge,
that.
No, Judge finished the season at 331. He won by 20 points.
Okay.
I think the lowest he got was like 318 at one point.
Okay. So, staying above that all year long with the pitching supposedly better than it's ever been before, with the thrower, the pitchers throwing harder than they've ever thrown before as a whole. Just having him do that is just amazing. But, yeah, I agree with you. Yes, being a Yankee fan, I want our guys to get the awards. I want our guys to win the World Series. But when you look at it, the most valuable player, if you look at how that season has went, Kyle Riley has been that guy for that whole team, for that whole year. And then winning the home run derby, I know they say that doesn't matter either, but just another accolade to me to push him to be in that vote.
Sure.
So either way, it's awesome to talk about it. And let me ask you this, because so you wouldn't be surprised if you would see the Dodgers in Seattle. Who do you think is going to win it if it does turn out to be Dodgers in Seattle?
It's real hard to pick against the Dodgers right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. They're just on a different level. And I don't see any hard drop-off. I just don't. And if you look at it, if Seattle gets through, I question their pitching. I don't question their hitting, but I question their pitching. So it's strength versus strength. Dodgers pitching versus Seattle's hitting, and good pitching usually beats good hitting.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard to pick against the Dodgers, but we may see something tomorrow night that totally changes our minds. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's baseball, man.
That's baseball. But when we come back, we are going to discuss a lot of college football. We got Steve Barnes coming on. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 Studio Line. ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Coming up on October 31st, it's the Cal G Squires inaugural golf tournament benefiting the Angel House Bereavement Center, the only provider of clinical grief counseling in Bay County. Costumes are encouraged for this fun day at Bay Point. Prizes for a hole-in-one, longest drive, closest to the pin, and best costume. To register you or your team, go to angelhousebci.org.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour, and look for it to be 84. Tonight, there will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 68. Sunny tomorrow with a wind around 6 miles per hour and the high of 83. Friday, we'll have a high of 81 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Keep the adventure going this holiday season in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Bill Bird Kia now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus a $500 APR bonus on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento during the big fall savings event going on now. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. It's the best family SUV with third-row seating space, providing extra comfort for the entire family. Bill Bird Kia, the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia S and LX models. $20.83 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. $500 APR bonus is applied as down payment and no cash value cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 11/3/25.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Ball's loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football, the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
The Florida Gators play here. Listen to select games on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the new Sports Blitz. Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290. The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We are excited to have Steve Barnes with the RebelWalk.com here joining us today on this Wednesday, Hump Day. Happy Hump Day to you, Steve. How you doing, my friend?
Guys, I did something Saturday that was really, really fun. Much like Ole Miss, I took kind of the day off, even though they still won it. But I went to the first Division II football game I've been to in 29 years.
Wow.
I had not been to one since I went to West Alabama playing at West Georgia. But my roommate, Mandy, she is about to graduate from the University of West Florida. And she told me that she has never been to a ball game there. And it was homecoming, and UWF gave me my first job in sports. Yeah. I was a sports information assistant. I thought, man, I work in sports. This is so cool. And when I first started there, not only do we not have football, we didn't have a men's basketball team, but now they have a football team. We went. The place was packed. It was over 5,000 people. Homecoming was really cool. They have a band now. That's really cool. Yeah. People were tailgating. I'm thinking, wow, this is UWF now? Wow. But the football was really, really good. UWF's got a few players who could play at a higher level, and they're number 3 in the nation.
Yeah.
And they beat Chowan out of North Carolina. They beat them 40-10. And it wasn't really close because UWF's just got some talent. But I think I want to go back to the Valdosta State game at the end of the year. I think it was that good. It was
awesome.
That is cool. I know I've got a personal friend that her son is an offensive lineman named Beasley that's there. Big kid come out of Saraland, Alabama. And then also I've got a former college where I played college basketball, former teammate. His last name is Gray, and his son's a cornerback over there. And so they do pretty good. And he went to St. Paul's, which is going to make Brian shudder a little bit. But he went to St. Paul's over there in Mobile. And I believe, Steve, that's what they're doing. I believe they're grabbing some of these talented guys that are playing good quality football over in the Mobile area, and they're grabbing obviously better talent outside of Florida as well. But still, it's a cool thing to see those guys do good over there. They're called aren't they the Argos?
Yeah,
Argonauts. There you go.
Well, when they first announced football, I was writing for Rivals.com, and I was going to do a story about, okay, here's this Division II team that's going to come in here to the Gulf South Conference. And I thought, Terry Bowden's coaching at UNA now. I knew Terry when he was at Samford, before he went to Auburn. And so I called the football office at UNA, and Terry answers the phone. I'm like, man, get you a secretary, dude. What's going on? But he had told me, he's like, if UWF gets football, they'll win the Gulf South Conference within 5 years and win the national championship before 10 years. They won it in their third year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, they've got some kids. They had a couple of kids who've been to NFL camps. So if you get a chance, come over to Pensacola. It's a fun time.
That is awesome. Well, Steve, you already kind of mentioned it. This 24-21 victory over Washington State over the weekend. I mean, we heard a lot about what Coach Kiffin said on his presser and some of the things he said after the game. What did you think about it? I mean, do you kind of have the sentiment that what he was talking about?
Well, my barnstorming story comes out tomorrow, I believe. And I led with a quote from Nietzsche. Not many people start a sports story with a 19th century German philosopher.
That's right.
Why not? That which does not kill us makes us stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of hoping that that's the attitude Ole Miss is going to take. Now, I did hear from a couple of people in Oxford that they spent like 2 days on Washington State and the rest of the week on Georgia.
Yeah, that's,
and they had to wake up.
That's what I thought. It looked like they were waiting for Georgia. That's exactly when I started seeing the score and I started watching how they were playing. I was just like, yep, they've overlooked these guys, and it's probably just going to stay close. Obviously, they were the better team. I mean, Trinidad.
Oh, I thought they were going to lose.
Yeah.
See, I didn't. I figured they'd figure it out. 20 for 29, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, but
that's his worst game.
I know, and that was his lowest passing number for the year so far. And I don't know.
But the 8 penalties for 99 yards.
Yeah,
you got to clean that up.
Yeah, that was the deal. Let me ask you about him though. He's not really getting as much national media as what I think he should. Where do you think he stands in that as far as Heisman and mainly talking about him? Are they just waiting for this Georgia game to really, put him out there on the spotlight, or do you think they're just, kind of overlooking him right now with just saying it's Lane Kiffin behind a good athletic quarterback?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and people say, when you go to a game, do you pull for a team? I pull for a good game. That's it, really. Just give me a good game. Give me a good story. And he is a good story. Yeah. That's the thing about it. He's a great story. Now, if they win against Georgia and then go to Oklahoma, then you're going to see the hype machine kick in. But right now, he's just a good story.
Yeah, that's what I just kind of wondered. I didn't really know because, as well as I do, whenever I started watching him, I was just like, wow, And I have to say it because I wasn't going to say it, but I got to. How about the one-liner of Kiffin going to him and saying, hey, we're not going to be playing Division II football anymore? What did you think about that one, Steve?
I think it was smart. I mean, yeah, hey, kid, guess what? You're in the big time now. You're with the big boys. And I think, I looked it up, I think his offensive line last year averaged like 260 pounds. Now they average like 300. The guys chasing him in the pocket, they no longer run 4 940s. They run 4 540s. Mm-hmm. So you better grow up. You better grow up quick. I think he's done a good job. I think Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. has done a good job of giving him a good plan. When you see this, you go there. When you see this, you go there, and the kid can process it.
Yeah, that was what I thought, before this game. Obviously, this game was a little different. But before, I just thought that they've really coached him up and really, because he's got all the talent, all the tools, it's just putting it all together on the field, and they've done great. Let me ask you about this game. So you got Ole Miss and you got Georgia. I've watched both teams play. I've watched Georgia. And as far as the quarterbacks go, obviously Stockton is not the type of runner as much as far as electrifying and can, wow you with his speed and athleticism. But aren't they the two same similar type deals? When they need something big, they put the ball in their hands and they make it happen, whether it is get outside the pocket and run or make the throw that needs to be where it's at.
We saw Stockton do it last week when he ran to the corner of the end zone. When he took off, I thought, oh, man, that's stupid. Oh, touchdown. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. But same thing with Chambliss. When he had his running touchdown, I thought, oh, man, you got to throw the ball. Hey, good run, touchdown. Yeah. So, again, I told Brian, never ask me to predict a game or an outcome because I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I admit it. I'm good at writing about stuff. But I think this one comes down to the offensive lines. Whoever can run the ball, who protect the quarterback is going to win this one. And I've tried to do some research, and I can't find it. I can't find another fifth-ranked team playing a lower-ranked team and a 7-point underdog.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
The line
I think it's about right.
It's a big line to me because Georgia doesn't blow people out this year. It's just, I get it. There's revenge from last year. I would feel a lot better about Ole Miss if last year hadn't happened, this, that, and the other. But 7 just seems like a lot to me, even at home. I don't know. 4 maybe I could get, but yeah, 7 seems like a lot.
I think the revenge factor's just overplayed.
I agree.
I mean, they said, Ole Miss is going to go to Kentucky and kill them because of revenge factor. Well, 20 of the 22 starters for Ole Miss didn't even play in that game last year. They don't know.
That's right.
And a lot of the Georgia kids just like, huh? What?
I mean, that game last year was what? Carson Beck versus Jackson Dart?
Yeah, but Simmons is the one that came in and really sparked it.
That's right. Yeah, he sure did. That's right. Yeah.
Well, to me, because I've watched both of them, and I did watch the Georgia-Kentucky game, and I did watch the Ole Miss-Kentucky game, and those are the only two, that's the only team that they both have played that's the same. And I tried to look at the stats just to see maybe if I could get some kind of lean which way this one's going to go. But the only thing that I can come up with is that I remembered watching is that whose team is going to tackle the best. If the team that tackles the best, it seems like that's the team that's going to win this one just because of the elusiveness of the quarterback play. And, with the old style of they know each other so well, they're going to both just try to establish the run game.
Well, the thing about the common opponent, Kentucky's a different team now. I mean, when they played Ole Miss, they were, thinking, okay, we could still do something. But after that loss, I think they're starting to phone it in.
Yeah.
So I don't think they played the same Kentucky team. So the tackling thing, Ole Miss has gotten better at it because they missed a bunch of them against Arkansas.
Yes.
They've gotten better at it. So I like that. And I think the key is going to be Kewan Lacey. If he runs for 100 yards, I think Ole Miss can win. If he runs for 48, I think Georgia will kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where, so that's kind of what I was thinking as far as that goes, the tackling and then being able to establish the run. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think about all of the stuff that's going on online with Kirby and with Coach Kiffin, how that, obviously them being buds and all of that? I mean, me and Brian was talking about it, the comment.
The burning calories comment or whatever. Comments. I mean, it was funny.
I mean, it's a good nature ribbing. I mean, I've been in Destin when they were both there for the spring meetings, and they hang out together. I mean, they were on the staff at Alabama together for a long time, and they bonded over how, poorly they were treated by Saban. That made them, that's friends for life. Now, we both went through, it's like me going through basic training in the military. I still talk to some of those guys and remember that stuff that we went through? I think these two guys are about the same way. So it's just good nature stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So let me ask you this. Did you see the Georgia game last week and, the whole thing about Kirby saying he clapped and was clapping and he wasn't calling timeout? Did you see any of that stuff?
He called timeout.
Yes, he called timeout.
Unless you clap with your right fingertips on your left palm, and I don't know anybody that claps like that, but Hey, he got away with it.
In this day and age of 22 camera remotes for a game like that, how in the world does he think he's getting away with that? Like, that's the part of it that baffles me.
Because it's not reviewable.
Oh, I get that.
So he's like, I can say what I want to the ref and get away with it, and nobody can overturn me if I convince them. And I think Will Kiffin said in an interview, somebody said, "Did you ever think about being anything but a coach?" And he said, "My mother wanted me to be a lawyer because I love to argue and I don't lose."
Yeah.
Kirby Smart argued and won.
Yeah. God, I hate it.
If I ever have to go to court, I want him as my defense attorney.
I get it. I just hate it for integrity of the sport, man. That was a bad look. But hey, they're not paying me $10 million. If you pay me $10 million, I call that clapping all day long.
Or you pay me $47 million at Penn State, I'm going to Destin and taking a year off.
Heck yeah.
Well, and that's, as far as Kirby goes, though, he had the opportunity to make it right after the game, and then he had the opportunity the next day for his presser, and he held to his guns like no other. I was amazed. I was like, wait a minute, obviously he's got a phone, he's got social media, he's got kids. He's got a wife. They all saw it, they all know it. Everybody said it, but he held to his guns. I just can't believe it. I really can't.
Oh, I heard a basketball coach once say, "It's not a foul unless it's called."
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing, and he stuck to his guns at least.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh my gosh.
That was a bad one.
Well,
speaking of Penn State, let me ask you this. What do you think about it? Did you see that one coming? Obviously 3 games in a row, losing like that. Did you see that one coming?
I'm not sure anybody did, except the boosters who were calling the athletic director at Penn State saying, "I gave you all this money for this. Well, you're not getting another check until I write one for his, buyout."
You know what it half reminded me of, Steve? You remember John Cooper?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
10-2 every year, but lost to Michigan 80% of the time, and they gave him 10-plus years. I think the decision was made to go in a different direction after the UCLA game, but I think they would have waited. I think the decision to do it immediately was like Northwestern 2. No, we're done. So.
Well, the 10-year contract, I think that's way too much, but I think it's a standard now.
Yeah.
You have to offer that now. You really do. But the buyouts are different a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think Kiffin, his buyout last year would have been $37,550,000. This year it drops a little bit. So the longer you keep somebody, the cheaper it's going to be. Mm-hmm. But when you've got that much money, and Penn State has money,
sure,
yeah,
and you have to remember they're going to have buyouts for a bunch of assistants.
Yep.
And now you got to pay the new head coach and his assistants. So that's a big check.
You better believe NIL has gone up to keep those recruits, too.
Yep.
Who have already, quote, decommitted and reopened their recruitment. That price went up, too.
But revenue sharing is going to help.
That's true.
Yeah. Who do you see as far as, obviously we don't know, but who would you see going to a job like Penn State? Because, whether it's a top 10 job in the country or not, or whether it's in the top 15, I would agree. Who do you see going there? Do you think it's going to be Matt Rule? Do you think it's going to be Cignetti?
If I'm Penn State, I'd rather have Cignetti. Matt Rule, a Penn State guy, but he showed it at Baylor, but he's not showing it at Nebraska in the Big Ten. Cignetti's showing it at Indiana in the Big Ten. I would try to poach him.
I agree. I'd go Cignetti. I think they're going Matt Rule. I think it's a fait accompli at this point. I think it's a done deal, basically. It's just a matter of, they're doing everything kind of in the back room and trying to figure out, the point at which, Matt Rule will basically leave at the end of the year. Although I think he has done better with Nebraska this year. And I like Matt Rule. I think he's actually a very good college coach. But, I'm with Steve on that. I think if I could take a swing at Cignetti with what he's done, I would do it.
because he just brings a winning culture.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Indiana got so good so quick. Is he was at James Madison, and they weren't all that in the bag of chips, as they say, in the FCS. But he got there, and they went 12-2 his first year. Went to the championship game and lost to North Dakota State, but. And championship game, everybody loses North Dakota State.
And I think the fan base is looking for a guy with an edge, and he's got an edge.
Yeah.
Well, the second year, it was a COVID year, and he went 7-1 and went to the FCS semis. The last year, he went 12-2 and went to the playoffs. Then he goes to the Sun Belt when they reclassify. He goes 8-3 and plays in the Sun Belt championship game. And then he goes to Indiana, and I think this is one of the key things. Winning culture breeds winning culture. He brought 12 of his James Madison players with him last year, and they went to the playoffs. He still has 8 of those guys.
Yep.
And winning culture is contagious, like losing culture is. But, I mean, I remember watching Indiana have a lead over somebody in the fourth quarter and looking up the scoreboard, and those kids are thinking you can read their minds. How are we going to lose this one? Now they're like, okay, how are we going to put the foot on their throat and put them out of here? Or how are we going to come back?
Yeah.
Well, when I was watching,
it's a weird thing.
Yeah, when I was watching them play Illinois, I thought Illinois with Brett Bielema was going to have, the year that I kind of was expecting them to. They got returning players. He's been there for a little while, and then the curb stomp that they did to Illinois. It just for me, I was just like, okay, these guys are for real. And then I see them beat Oregon. I'm like, okay, they're double for real. And it's him. It's him.
Well, the real thing about the Illinois game is Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, came from Ole Miss. He's historical.
Yes, he is.
Brian knows.
I remember.
His dad used to be the orthopedic surgeon for the Bulldogs. Yep. So, but he looked like a deer in the headlights. And I saw him play SEC games, and he wasn't like that. And that's when I said, Indiana might have something here.
Yeah, I also think Mendoza has been kind of just that last little piece. They were good last year. I just think the way he's playing this year, it's that last little piece to the puzzle for them.
I would say he is this year's Diego Pavia, but with more talent.
I agree.
Yeah.
A little less swagger, but more talent. I agree.
Yeah, he really does look good. I think he's going to be, a lot of people are already putting him in there for the first-round draft picks as far as the quarterback class. How crazy is it how the people or the pros have changed their mind on all these quarterbacks that at the beginning of the year they were the number ones, and now you got these guys that you haven't really heard of. Now they're talking about them being number one draft picks, and that kid being one of them.
Oh, those guys in the NFL, they've heard of him. They know it. They have that pro personnel department, like Ole Miss does now. They actually have a personnel department, and that's how they found Chambliss. And Kirby Smart said in his presser this week, it's like, if there's an award for just finding talent, Ole Miss deserves it. How'd they find this guy? And ESPN actually had a great story online where one of the guys in the pro personnel department, who's also an assistant coach, looked at his film, and he's like, okay, I love what I see, but I think I might be missing something. He called in Joe Judge, who used to be with the Giants. He called him in to watch him, and he goes, let's call in the tight end coach to see what he sees. And the tight end coach came in and said, we need to call Coach Kiffin. And he goes in and said, what's he leaning to? He said, well, he has a trip to Temple next week. And Kiffin just said, get him here tonight, and walked out.
Wow.
They had him the next day. So if you can evaluate talent like the NFL does, you're gonna. That's why Ole Miss is so good in the transfer portal. They can evaluate talent.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Steve, I know we don't have much time because we're going to have to take a break. Let me ask you this. It's been big talk. Lane Kiffin to Florida. What do you think?
I agree with Ryan McGee from ESPN. He did that documentary on him. Don't mess with a good thing. Mm-hmm. Don't mess with happy. And I remember the Auburn job came open a couple of years ago, and I told Brian, I don't think Auburn's really that good of a job because once you get done there, you're done. Your career's over.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Tuberville went to a Division I job. Other than that, nobody else really did much. I think Florida's about the same way, and it's for one reason only. There's just unacceptable expectations.
Yeah.
If you don't win a national championship every year, get out of here. Why would he want that? And I would not take my kid out of Oxford High School who's playing football. His coach is Chris Cutcliffe. Mm. His dad is David Cutcliffe, who coached Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. I want my kid to play 2 more years at Oxford High School, but I don't want to be in Gainesville, Florida. And they can back up the Brinks truck all they want to, but, when I went to Ole Miss, I had a bunch of friends go to the University of Florida. And they're like, you're stupid, man. You're going that far away, and you're going to pay out-of-state tuition? Well, it's about the same distance from Gainesville to Pensacola as Oxford. What's the cost of living in Mississippi at the time? Oh, I was paying less, even paying out-of-state that tuition. But it's just a different environment. And I've been to Gainesville many times, and I saw Florida lose a game, and everybody wanted to kill the coach. I've seen Ole Miss lose games and say, hey, let's pump these guys up.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering.
So don't mess with happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, we appreciate it, and thank you for making this work on your schedule. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you on Monday. Steve Barnes, RebelWalk.com.
Hey, Steve.
When we come back, we're going to talk more about this football. We also got some high school football to talk about. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
They called a good game. I mean, the difference between Texas and the previous few games, our players went out and executed.
Yeah.
They did their jobs, and that's where we have lacked. Maybe if we retain Billy for another year, we need to start the year off with 2 bye weeks. Let us have our bye weeks at the beginning of the season instead of 2 in the middle. We'll call him bye week Billy instead of bad week.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
Looking for the most romantic night out in Panama City? Ferrucci Ristorante is your destination for authentic Italian cuisine and unforgettable moments. The candlelight, the wine, the homemade pasta. It's like a little slice of Italy. From handcrafted sauces to centuries-old recipes, Ferrucci brings true Italian flavor to every plate. It's where love stories begin and anniversaries are celebrated. To reserve your table, call 850-913-9131. Ferrucci Ristorante, Panama City's most romantic escape.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Kurt Price, you're back on the program. Why are we calling it permission to party? Certain times you get a permission to party, and it's always when the person that doesn't drink says, I don't know, do you want to do a specialty cocktail tonight? And you're like, I just got permission to party. That energy is the reason I party. And the reason I'll never stop partying. We turned on the hot tub last night, and Leanne goes, should we open a bottle of rosé? Immediately I go, oh, we're getting lit tonight. Like, that energy is what I'm looking forward to.
Rich Eisen weekdays starting at 11. Now on ESPN Northwest Florida. Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios.
This is Coach Stephen Pearl. Your home for Auburn basketball on the Panhandle is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the most opinionated sports talk show on the Panhandle. This is the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We are having a blast today talking about all things college football. And we talked about it, Brian, a little bit with Steve. When you look at this Penn State job, obviously to me, it was a shocker for it to happen. I thought maybe they were going to be looking other places after this year. I would never have thought if they would have beaten Northwestern, they would have probably hung on to him. But I guess to me, Northwestern, to you, Northwestern, was the nail in the coffin, because obviously there's been this narrative, and it's not just a narrative, it's actually stats that he hasn't won the big games. And so with James Franklin leaving, now we've got an opening there. And you're 100% feeling like Matt Rule is the guy.
I think it's a done deal. I really do. And it's based on what's not being said. Rule has not squelched it. I mean, nor should he.
No.
To be honest, but because you should. I mean, all they ever should say is, look, this is my profession. This is my life. I'd be stupid not to look at everything.
Yeah.
So that's just emotional people freaking out over whatever. But no, I think it's done. I think that the connection with the AD, I think the connection with the school, I think the type of coach that he is, I think the fact that he could possibly bring a top-ranked quarterback with him, which we'll have to see, what Dylan Raiola wants to do. I think a lot of that plays into this makes sense. Now, that being said, as I said earlier, if I'm Penn State, I want the guy with the nasty edge.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't really fit their ethos, because that certainly was not Joe Paterno. It was not Bill O'Brien. It was not a lot of these guys. But I almost think that's the last piece they need. I think Penn State has a unique opportunity to go try and be nasty and be the definite number 2 and try and make a run at Ohio State. Like, you have a real opportunity here. I think Matt Rule can be that guy. Signetti's killing it right now. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be a good fit. I don't know. But if you're asking me what I think's going to happen, I think the Rule thing is all but done. I just don't think it's signed yet.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it, Dylan Raiola, he did get interviewed about it, and his words was he ain't going nowhere. And on Penn State speculation, Raiola says it's just people stirring up stuff and making it bigger than it is. Now, this is kind of comical, the last part that he says. He says, Raiola adds with a smile, it doesn't really matter what he says. Yeah. His wife loves it here.
Yeah.
So, and that's we've heard this story before. I mean, how many times have a coach come out and said, nothing really bad, nothing really negative, but I love it here. I love it here. I love it here. And the next thing you know,
I think it probably does.
Jet. Yeah.
But if you're Matt Rule, I know you were the coach of the Panthers. I know you had success at Baylor. This is the first true, and I'm not knocking Nebraska. Nebraska under Tom Osborne was a totally different animal. Yeah, and I know you can go back to Bob Devaney and all. They are a blue blood program.
Yeah.
But in today's current environment, I don't think they can be that. Penn State can.
Yeah.
So it is a clear step up for Matt Rule. And it's not a knock on Nebraska. They were good to him. I'm sure that means a lot to him. Yes, they're in the Big Ten. And yes, they're a good football program. He can't go at Nebraska, I don't think, where he can go with Penn State. And for a guy who has not ever been there before, this isn't an Urban Meyer who's been to the mountaintop or Nick Saban who's been to the mountaintop. Matt Rule has been climbing.
Yeah.
This is his chance to maybe get there. And that's why I just think he'll do it. Plus that relationship with the AD, I'm sure it's good at Nebraska. We know it's good. At Penn State, because they were together at Temple and they've known each other for a very long time.
And that's the key. But also, you say something that's so pivotal here. Penn State is on the cusp of being a make or break move right here. This is a make or break move because they are number 2 or were number 2 until Oregon came into the conference. And then you had Michigan, obviously still hanging around, but they're down.
It's up for grabs.
Right.
It's Oregon, it's Penn State, it's Michigan. I think most of the others have fallen a little behind, but I think it's still up for grabs.
Yes.
Some years, obviously, Michigan put together a couple of great years there, and it was them. It looked like Oregon had reached that point last year. Penn State has been there. I mean, they have won.
Yeah.
The Big Ten. They just haven't seen it through. I mean, we forget they were in the semifinal last year.
They were. That's right.
So they're right there, and they're able to recruit anybody. I mean, Raiola going to Nebraska was huge news.
Yes.
Raiola going to Penn State would be, that's about right.
Yeah.
There's just a difference there.
Right, and that's what they've got to be seeing it. They're not listening to us all the way down here in Florida. They know how important this hire is going to be with all the other jobs opening up, with all these other coaches having the opportunity. This needs to be the guy that's going to be solidified for the next 5, 7, 10 years that can put them challenging Ohio State every single year, but not only just winning the Big Ten, but actually making noise into the playoff now that you've got 12 teams. Because really, when you look at Penn State, they've got the money and they've got the backing because, I mean, that place is tough to play in anyway. It gets rambunctious up there, and that's the key.
They're ready to win. They just don't have the confidence yet, or they don't have the experience of winning the big ones.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with Frank. I think the players really are going to miss James Franklin. I don't think there's a single player on that team that's like, good, now we can be good. No. I don't think so. I think they very much love James Franklin. I think the administration appreciated everything James Franklin did. I think most of the fans appreciated everything James Franklin did.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter is, they haven't been able to win the big one.
And that's the key. And when we come back, we're going to discuss more of this and some high school football. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70 studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Wanted to be the voice of the Crimson Tide for more than 50 years. I finally am. Please don't get me fired.
But everybody wants to know, what's the difference? What is it like working for Saban and then working with Coach DeBoer? What?
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. Tonight there will be a light breeze out of the northeast, clear skies, and 68. Sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 80, and a wind around 6 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. In the afternoon and evening, sunny and a gentle breeze right around 8 miles per hour with a high of 84. About the same at 81 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
On the next Thursday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers and the 4-1 Steelers are at the 2-4 Cincinnati Bengals.
Rodgers on the move, directing traffic, throws, touchdown!
Thursday Thursday Night Football coverage starts at 6:30 from Paycor Stadium. Kickoff at 7:15 on your home for the NFL on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. They're number one in the men's room.
I hope this place comes with toilet paper.
The Sports Blitz.
Oh, geez, this is going to be a photo finish.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's about that time. It's 5 o'clock here on this Wednesday, Hump Day. We got 2 more days, baby, to make it for the weekend, and you made it today. And we're thankful that you're listening here, whether you're listening on the radio, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whatever you are listening on. We appreciate it. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. Real quick, checking on Facebook here. Somebody's giving you a shout-out, Coach. Coach Brian.
Hello.
Hello. That's it.
Hello.
Okay, I was wondering how you got that.
That's one of my Yankee friends up there in the Great White North there in Wisconsin. The Chicagoland Breaks guys saying hello. So
man, so that's how they say it. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
HLOH. So there you go. That's how you say hello up there in, where'd you say they were at?
They're actually based out of Wisconsin, Racine, Wisconsin, but they do breaks, sports car breaks or Chicagoland breaks. So.
That is cool. We're going to be talking about
Good
that.
Guys.
Yeah,
Good
that's
guys.
awesome. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. Todd is going to be coming in the studio. But Brian, we've got some district champions here in Bay County.
Seems early, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, a lot early. But, hey, I tell you what, Mosley, 42-36 over Niceville. We talked to Coach Tommy Joe Whitten about it. It was crazy. Overtime, they ran into some, just some freak accidents. JP Holzenbach had some errant throws or whatever, had a few picks there. Yeah. But the defense stepped up. But either way, got the victory, hard fought, and it's just like, I don't know, when you watch a team and they just refuse to lose. It just seemed like that's what it was. To go on the road at Niceville. Now, the backstory to that, obviously, is that's where Tommy Joe Whitten came from. That's his hometown. All of his friends are there. His best friend, or one of his friends that was in his wedding, is the defensive coordinator from Niceville.
Oh, yeah.
And
a lot of connections there. And look, high school turns over so much, and they're developing so much. But 2 years ago, that was Mosley's problem. Like, they had a chance to win every game they were in. They would lose them late. Last year, it looked like they kind of got that, figured out, and then I still don't like the way that the playoff seeding and everything worked out last year, and that's a whole nother story for another day. But it's good to see that with kind of a new bunch of players. I mean, you were dealing with Sammy Freitas, guys who'd been there for 3 years in a leadership position. Now you have new players in there, and they seem to be able to handle that. When that adversity comes up, they come right back around. I mean, they only have the one loss on the year, but I don't care if Niceville is down this year a little bit. Niceville's Niceville, and being in Niceville, you're battling that entire town.
Yeah.
And I mean that entire town.
and that's what you're saying.
So for them to be up, to give up that lead, go into overtime, and then pull that out, that's a big, big win for Mosley.
Yeah, and they, when he said that my family's going to be there, my friends are going to be there, that's where I went to high school. He played quarterback there. That was big. And he said, it was kind of funny because I was like, do you guys talk smack the whole week? You and he was like, no, we actually go silent during that week. He said, but we do at the beginning of the year kind of talk a little smack.
Sure.
And he's like, I'll tell you the first play, or you tell me the first play that you're going to run, and I'll tell you the scheme that we're going to run for the first series or whatever. So I thought that was kind of cool. But Sammy Chisholm scored late, and then the defense had to get a stop because it was Niceville's ball. Now, the thing is that they elected to go for 2 and did not get it.
Yeah.
And so that meant that if Niceville scored, they kicked the field goal, the game would have been over.
Well, we all know in high school football, kick is not a sure
it's
thing.
It's not guaranteed.
Yeah. But, I mean, I understand that. And look, I've always said this, and this maybe it's because I was a coach for so long, but coach has access to information we don't. So there may have been something going on with the kicking game that we didn't know, and it made all the sense in the world not to go for it. So, I mean, I never question that end of things. Obviously, it's a good thing it works out, but no, it was a great game, great win for Mosley.
Yeah, and, Carson Griffin, 6 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. And, just it's crazy. But just to think that 3-time district champs for Mosley,
that's big.
That's big. And, their only one loss was to Bay. And so with them having that going forward,
who is themselves now
district
champion.
That's right. Coach Brown and them pulled it out as well in overtime. And you got to think about this. Now, he sent me a text message, and this is what his text message, I'll have to read it here because it was pretty phenomenal what he said.
What did they scored a ton of points in no time. I can't remember exactly.
Yes, 16 points with a minute 54 left in the game. And he said these dudes went off. He's talking about the Division I prospect Javar Bowden, Bowden, 7 receptions, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then Amari Johnson, 5 receptions, 98 yards with 2 touchdowns. So they scored 16 points with a minute 54. And just pulled it out, and that's crazy.
And that was a weird one because I think, look, from the outside looking in, we were all thinking, look, West Florida's not having a great season. Bay's killing it. They've looked great all year. They're going to go over there and just stomp them. And we forget, you still got to pull the pads tight. You still got to lace them up.
Still got to play.
And you got to go play. And West Florida came to play, and Bay was not real sharp. Fortunately for them, they were able to get themselves out of it and pull off a victory. I mean, a crazy one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in a way, I think that's probably better for Bay long term than if they just coasted to a victory.
Yeah.
Finding different ways to win. I mean, there's a confidence that gets built off of that. And if you're trying to make a deep run in the playoffs, you're going to want games like that in the back of your mind to where Jeremy Brown can go, guys, do you remember when we were in this situation?
Yes.
What did we do? And you can carry that forward instead of, we beat everybody by 20-plus points this year. What do we do?
Right. So, and see, thinking about that when you're talking
Madison Central, obviously.
Well, when you talk about those victories like that, it kind of gives you that, hey, we can still win, and you can still pump them up, and you can still keep them believing, because that's really part of the biggest part of being a high school coach, whether it's little league coach or whatever, is still instilling into those kids that we still have a chance, even when we're down.
That's right.
And that really is how it works. And I'm reminded, because I'm excited, because we haven't talked about it much, Brian. This is Tennessee week. And when I'm reminded of the year that we won the national title against Lane Kiffin in Tennessee, Mount Cody blocking the field goal. I watched it today. Because I'm still excited, but I
can't watch it again. I'm afraid I will go back into defibrillations the way I did during that game right now.
But yeah, you have to continuously believe, no matter how many minutes are on the clock.
That's right. But here's the beauty of it. They experienced it. It's not Jeremy Brown telling them, guys, we're going to win this game.
Right.
Oh, okay, coach.
That's what you're supposed to say.
Even if you half believe them, they've had it happen. Like, they were there. They weren't bystanders in it. They were the ones who got it done. So when Jeremy Brown goes, remember when we were in this situation? They go, yeah, here's what we did. Yep. There's such a confidence to that. I mean, look, he's won a state championship, so he can say it, and they can probably even believe it, but it's different believing it versus actually living it.
Yeah. And that's going to help them in the long run. I believe what you said. I believe that's going to be a big game. They'll be able to go back and say, hey, remember this game.
I agree.
And that's going to be huge for them. So, with them being down, and then Rutherford, they took care of North Bay Haven. North Bay Haven's been the story of the county as far as just winning these games, being who they've been. The game was close in the beginning a little bit, and but Rutherford's talent eventually took over, and they were able to win 49-14.
Coach Floyd's done a wonderful job
at
Rutherford over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And last year it was, I remember talking with, ironically, Coach Andy Siegel, who, unfortunately wasn't able to coach this year at North Bay Haven with some health issues. But, one of the things that was, killing us is they would get so close And you could tell they're doing all the right things. When is it going to break through? And we saw a little of that early this season, too. And it's just like, it's there. They're doing all the right things. I think we're starting to really see that culture change, that brick by brick, which is what Coach Floyd has been instilling since he's taken the job at Rutherford, I think is really paying off. And then, obviously, North Bay Haven, just what a great story that's been for a team that's just had so much turnover. I think they've had 6 coaches in 4 years. And obviously, with Coach Siegel being a health issue, the rest weren't. It was a mess over there. And we got to remember, North Bay Haven is the one school that cannot simply have someone transfer in. It is a lottery system with the charter school. And so they are at a disadvantage. To all the other schools. So the fact that they have been able to turn that around under a head coach who basically became the head coach about 2 weeks before the season started, is a fantastic testament to not just the coaching staff, but the players. Because think about being a senior on that team and what you've been through for the last 3 years. Do you know how easy it would have been to just walk away? Those kids didn't. So congratulations to them. That was a fun game to watch, just in 2 teams that were going the right direction. One's obviously got to win. Great for Rutherford. They've got a chance now to go win a district championship, but take nothing away from what North Bay Haven's done.
And the play that they've, how they've played at the quarterback position with Caleb Mozinski. He's won Player of the Week twice.
He's a great player.
And he's done really well.
I've actually met him. Really nice kid.
Yeah, really good. And, going over there to the school and talking with them and then talking to the head coach for now. He's so excited about being in his job. And that's what you want, and winning these games. You could see that he's overcome with emotion on his interviews when he talks about it. And, I said, hey, are you guys picked to win, not against Rutherford, but another game? And he was like, I don't really know if we're picked to win. I doubt it, but we don't really care. And I love that, that he's giving these kids hope, and they're buying in, like you said, and then being at that disadvantage, they're just taking it as, hey, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And I believe the ship's been righted there for sure.
I agree.
So you got Rutherford, and then don't forget Bozeman beat Destin 22-15. So
Bozeman's kind of quietly putting together a year. And it's a little tough because they're a little further north, and we don't see them as often. And with all the stories going on, I mean, we've and we dealt with the whole issue with Arnold earlier in the year. I mean, there's been a lot of stories to fill the vacuum. All the while, Bozeman's playing good football again. They just keep cranking out great athletic program after great athletic program.
And that's good. And that's, bringing up Arnold, they took the loss to Fort Walton Beach, but it was 14-12. And again, it's the whole thing with Arnold is that, with Coach Griffin coming back, finally getting on the field, finally starting to, be the presence that he is, it's good to see them in those tough games, being able to be competitive and not, lose, because they've got some good players over there as well.
For anyone, and look, obviously you would have hoped for better things if you're an Arnold fan this year. Obviously, the way the season has played out has been like a lightning strike. You cannot have predicted the way everything would go. And you're dealing with young people trying to deal with a situation like that. But for anybody that is disappointed, remember where we were 2 years ago, where Arnold scored, 14 points a whole year?
Whole year, all year.
Come on. I mean, they're still doing all the right things. Last year was obviously a huge improvement.
Big time, yes.
And maybe, they're a little bit of a victim to the rapid, success of that, but I don't think it's any blemish on what they've done this year. It's been a really tough year, a lot of adversity put on those kids. They're still playing hard every single week. It's not an easy thing to go play at Fort Walton Beach. And, they're going to give everything that Mosley wants to them. I don't know if they match up terribly well with them, but I guarantee you, if they come up on the short end of the game this weekend against Mosley, it won't be for lack of effort.
No, it won't be, because those kids play hard, and that's, their quarterback quarterback. He plays hard, and not only can he throw, but he runs the ball really well. He runs between the tackles, all of those things. And then you got the kid, Darren Elder, who won Player of the Week last week. Just a special athlete. He's really good. And, I think Coach Griffin's doing a great job over there. Obviously, with all of the turmoil and the adversity that they've come against this year, being able to still, like you said, have those kids fighting and playing and being gritty. And that's to me, that's the biggest thing about it. So with that being said, we've got Rutherford at Bozeman tomorrow night at Tommy Oliver, Thursday night football. So I believe the district implications is huge for that one.
Don't quote me on this. I think if Rutherford wins, they are district champ. I think if Bozeman wins, there's still things that have to happen. I could be dead wrong on that. If I'm wrong, call in and yell at me. It's perfectly fine with me. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
I love that it looks like Rutherford has a chance to go do something. I think the fact that they have that in front of them hopefully will be the thing for them. But man, I'd never bet against Bozeman. I don't know. If you asked me to make a pick, I'm not sure what I would do.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at too. I'm just like, gosh, you could flip a coin.
Yeah.
It's going to depend on a lot of different things. And the thing is that it's really who's going to be able to make the explosive plays.
I think if I had to pick, I like Rutherford's athleticism.
Yeah.
I think that Bozeman is maybe a little more like bulky and
yeah.
And not to say neither's not tough, but that's more their style. I think Rutherford's extremely athletic, especially on the edges. So if you forced me to, I'd probably take Rutherford, but in a really, really good football
close
game.
one, yeah. And that's the way it's going to work with playoff or district implications. That's huge. Now you got North Bay Haven and Cottondale.
Oh, Cottondale.
Oh, yes. So it's going to be a tough night. I mean, they're going to have to do everything right.
It's a different Cottondale than last year when they were scoring just 1,000 points a game, but they still like to put points on the board. And look, North Bay Haven's been able to score some this year, which has been great.
Yeah,
where's that game?
It's at Cottondale.
Oof.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I'm going to take Cottondale just because I do think home field means so much in high school, especially when it's a hike up there. It's not brutal, but it's a hike. So I don't like that I picked them. So
then you also have Bay and Walton. So that's going to be.
I like Walton. I think they're a good team, but Bay got their wake up call, and there won't be any let off here.
No,
I think Bay will win, but it's not going to be a blowout. But Bay will win.
Yeah, it's going to be full steam ahead for Bay. I feel like with pushing that last weekend and making it that close, I think they really are going to clean up some stuff.
The focus this week will be mentally sharp, take care of what you're supposed to do. Like, they will be focused.
Yeah, it should be a good one there. And then you got, like what we talked about, we got Mosley at Arnold, which I'm going to go to that one. So I'm going to watch that one. I'm excited about it. And with those games, it's always, we talk about it. It's not always who's got the best record when these teams play, but it's who matches up well at what they do. And that's the key. That's what you're going to have to see, whether or not Arnold can limit the touches, because Mosley likes to go fast.
That's right.
And then Arnold likes to, if they can control the clock, keep the ball out of, Land and Fletcher and Sammy Chisholm's hands as much as they can. Disguise their defense some. I think that's going to be cues.
Generally speaking, I think Mosley's a bad matchup for Arnold. Now, what I don't know, I haven't talked to any of the coaches this week. I don't know what are some guys banged up coming out of the games last week. I don't know that. So short of that, just based on what I've seen this year, short of that, I would think Mosley. Again, Arnold will play hard. Mosley won't be gifted anything. I just think they have too many weapons for Arnold.
And that's probably the case. I just think that, it wouldn't surprise me if Coach Griffin comes up with a game plan that keeps it close.
Yeah.
I do trust Coach Whidden's play calling as well. I will say that
Whidden's great about getting his guys to refocus after big wins, but you would have to expect just a little bit of a release. I mean, look, not just winning your district, not just going over to Niceville and winning, but the way that they won.
Yeah.
I could understand if they weren't 100% sharp in the first half, so maybe watch out for that. But I think as the game goes on, I think Mosley's talent just pulls away.
I believe that. And when we come back, You got it right. PCB's in the house. The Hobby and Todd and maybe the doctor's here. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Have you ever wanted to reach out and smack someone?
You can't fix stupid, but you can divorce it.
The new Sports Blitz. Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming.
And on behalf of 70% of the Alabama fan base,
Feel the burn.
we want a damn divorce.
The Red 7T studio line.
You cannot give LSU extra opportunities.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
He has not turned the ball over.
Get in the game.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. Tonight there will be a light breeze out of the northeast, clear skies, and 68. Sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 80, and a wind around 6 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. In the afternoon and evening, sunny and a gentle breeze right around 8 miles per hour with a high of 84. About the same at 81 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Ball's loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football, the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
The Florida Gators play here. Listen to select games on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're pumped up. We're excited because normally on Mondays we get to have the captain in the building, but with Columbus Day, we got the Columbus Day messed us up a little bit. So now we are honored, but not only do we have the captain, but we've got the doctor in the house. PCB Hobby, Captain Todd, and the doctor. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Yes, I said Wednesday.
That's right.
That sounded weird.
We're doing good. It's been a busy couple weeks. Had a lot going on. Did a trip down to, I don't even know if I was able to talk about this yet, but did a trip down to South Florida. Went to Boca Raton, Cape Coral. This is the second trip we've done and picked up a crazy amount of comic books. We took the trailer and everything. We did a turnaround. We left Saturday morning at 2 a.m. and came back and got in Sunday at 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. Wow. But it was fun. We had a good time. It was me and another guy that works for us named Trey. And so we had a good time. We also had some really cool shows this last weekend, and we hired some new coin streamers.
Come on.
Yeah, so we have 2 new coin streamers that we hired. They're training this week. They're doing a good job. They've streamed before, so they know what they're doing. And they actually do know coins, so that's pretty awesome. the shop has been crazy,
Mm-hmm.
like crazy. Silver and gold are all the news, all the rage. Everything's going just nuts with that stuff. So if you haven't looked and you've been under a rock, which I'm sure some of you have,
Of course.
It's 53 an ounce for silver and 4,200 for gold, which is the highest it's ever been. So lot going on with that. A lot of trading, buying and selling of that. So that's been good. Stream's been going great. Social media has been great. We've been doing a lot of stuff now on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So that's good. A lot of polls from the streams. So that's been a lot of fun, seeing a lot of cool stuff. They pulled a 4-way signed Disney card out of
That's
5.
right. I saw it. I wanted to talk about that.
Stupid. Big card. Big card. We had a lot of blind bags we've been doing. We just got back from NYCC. That's New York Comic Con. And we had a whole team go up there, got tons of signatures. I want to say we got 1,200 books signed, and of course had a booth, had artists there. It's been crazy. And this weekend, starting Friday night, we have Maria Wolf. If you're a comic person, you'll know exactly who that is. Maria Wolf has done tons.
Look her up.
Yeah, look her up. She actually did an exclusive with us, Battle Beast. So that was really cool, and that's going to be shown on screen Friday night, and you're going to be able to buy it, and on top of it, be able to get remarks and signatures and all kinds of stuff. So that's going to be cool. It's going to be with Big Kern. So other than that, we have, again, like I said, a lot going on, a lot of different things, a lot of different cons. But we're going to cut to Brian, hear what new products are coming out, hear what's going on at the shop, and then after that, we got something special to show and tell.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
Well, let's start with Disney because we talked about it. There's actually another Disney product that launched today. And for those of you who Top Scrum Disney seemed a little pricey for you in their first run out, and it's beautiful, Disney Wonder dropped today. And it's a lot more affordable, beautiful cards too. A lot of chances at sketches, autographs, everything. A lot of focus on Frozen and the princesses. So I know that's going to be a big deal.
Dr. Sharon's
there you go.
favorite.
So yeah, Disney Wonder dropped today in the shop. And they have blasters, they have megas, they have hobby and all like that. Very affordable. But it's really about what's coming up over the next week to 10 days because we have a lot that's about to drop. So next week we get into Diamond Icons Baseball, which is a very high-end product. Absolutely beautiful. On the Panini side, you have Impeccable Football, Impeccable Live Golf.
And what's the one that comes in the briefcase?
Well, that's Flawless. But what Impeccable's hook is, and this will tie into what Todd started with, they do silver bar cards that have a troy ounce of silver and gold bars that are a half troy ounce of gold.
Yep.
So there's a huge
And the South Park is getting ready to go. The collection,
yeah,
silver
very
collection's
cool.
going to be coming out too.
The last thing I want to hit, there's two things. Number one, next Thursday, mark your calendars. This is something that's been about 15 years in the making. The return of Topps basketball. They are pulling out all the stops in marketing this product, and it's going to be Cooper Flag licensed rookie autographs. All the big boys are in it. It is going to be something else. That is next Thursday. The hype on this product is off the chart. Like
it's inaugural edition, basically, of Topps getting the license back.
I think the last time Topps did basketball was Steph Curry's rookie year. That's how long it's been. 09-10. 09-10. It's been a long time. So you have that, and then at the end of the month, I just want to put this out because we just talked so much college football. Bowman Chrome University football on Halloween.
Wow.
So I know we always have people who really go after the college product with all the interest in that. So Halloween, that's going to be dropping in our shop, and they have they have jumbo, they have breakers, they have hobby, they have megas, they have blasters, all of it. So next Thursday is Topps basketball. End of the month, Bowman Chrome U football.
What about one last question? Prism football. When does that come out?
It's an accelerated thing this year. Usually it's a February. I want to say Prism football is mid-November. Okay, if I'm not mistaken.
It's coming in a month. Okay, cool. All right.
Let me ask you one question about it. So if the kids want to go trick-or-treating, they can stop by the shop
100%.
first in their outfits.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
And
we
come
might
get
be in
some-
our outfits.
There you go.
We
Come
should be.
get
We
come
haven't
get
I think we
got the
were
memo
last
yet.
year.
Yeah.
We were last year.
So, I mean, they can come
We're
get the
not going to
cards.
technically do a Halloween party, but we are going to encourage everybody, since it's a Friday at PCB Hobby,
Yeah.
to dress up. And then Dr. Sharon is in charge of hospitality, and
there
so
we
I'm
go.
sure they will have candy and giveaways and things like that.
Yeah,
that they're going to do.
That's what I'm
Craft
talking.
services.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because here on the show on Friday, we will also be dressed up, and so we're going to be dressing up and going on with the.
Don't tell me I got to come in just to see that.
You can find us on Facebook if you don't want to see it in live and in person.
I can also tell you, for those of you who really like memorabilia, we have picked up a huge collection of stuff, ton of baseballs, some signed mini helmets. We picked up a lot of Bobby Bowden autograph stuff that we're working through. One with him and Deion Sanders, one with him and
That's
Jimbo
cool.
Fisher, oddly enough.
Come
That'd be
on.
a fun one. Charlie Ward, Jameis Winston. It's a lot of different stuff like that, and some really cool framed pieces that some of it even like movie memorabilia that's kind of neat.
Not your run of the mill.
Yeah, next couple of weeks we're going to start rolling that stuff out. So kind of look for that. It's part of that what we've talked about. It's weird what'll walk into the shop.
It's weird.
And some really
I had a
neat
lady
pieces.
actually hit me up the other day on email and asked me about Lionel trains. Apparently her husband passed away, and she has a big collection. She's ready to downsize it. So if she emails me back, we will go.
But when I say a lot of baseballs, I'm talking 200 plus autographed baseballs. And I mean, from people you don't know all the way up to Mickey Mantle and Hank Aaron and all of it. So,
well, without further ado.
Wait, no, wait. I wanted to mention Baker Mayfield. So I saw him doing like an interview, and I thought about it. His progressive commercials that he did a while back were so good.
Oh, yeah.
Where the stadium was like his home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought about that and went, okay, that's so good. I know he has a Popeyes commercial.
I think he's slated to be MVP or
he's definitely in the conversation.
He's having himself a year.
I love him in commercials. I just have to say, he's really done a good job.
Good demeanor.
Yeah.
All right, without further ado, Dr. Simpson is going to show you guys something cool that we brought in, and I want everybody to listen and learn.
All right.
So pre-code horror, which I think we've mentioned when we've been in before.
Yes.
It's, it was really very graphic, too graphic. Kids, would see it, and so Congress wouldn't step in. The industry got together and said, "Okay, let's have an authority that we can't put this stuff out." And even now, if there is something graphic, it's kind of like girly magazines where it's wrapped.
Yeah.
Where you can't open it, right? It's called like Red Band now. So I mean, even you can see its effects even now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was before, so this is pre-code horror, and this is mild compared to some of the other stuff.
Oh, wow.
Brought. So anyway, you guys can look at it. It's like she's throwing him off with a rock.
Yep. Good. And if you want to, you can just hold that up, and he can get you on that camera.
These are like
It's this one
52.
right here.
Yeah, 1952.
So this one's 1953. This is Fight Against Crime number 12 from Story Comics.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can see she tied a rock to his neck and threw him in.
Yeah. It's pretty graphic.
And she's about to
Especially back
to
in the
tank too,
50s.
I think. I'm pretty sure the guy behind her doesn't look like he's up
Well,
to
the fact
anything.
that he's green probably doesn't help him either.
That's for
And
sure.
this is like in the bear trap.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
so this
look
is
at that
Shock
one.
Suspense Stories. Now, Shock
Again,
Suspense Stories, they did a ton of these.
Back in the 50s.
This
Great
is
artwork,
number
though.
3, so this is the 3rd edition from 1952.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful artwork.
Most of these that we are showing are going to be anywhere from $300 to $800 a piece.
Wow.
They are
Some of them being even more.
yeah,
of
but
course.
not the ones we brought today.
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this is like, I guess, a ghost trying to.
Strangle a guy.
Yeah.
Adventures in
There's
Japan.
that.
Again,
Family fun stuff.
it does not have the badge on these that shows the authority to the code
Which you
authority.
can see now.
Which you
Wow.
now see on comics.
Right.
It's everywhere on
See,
comics
this
now.
before the man got
This is
involved.
before that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Wow. So that
like I
one
said,
is...
these are tame ones that we brought in.
These are all tame ones. We didn't bring the graphic ones.
Yeah, the real graphic ones.
Weird.
Throwing a guy out of the
Web of
plane.
Mystery. And
How
this
about
is done
this?
by
Tales
Ace
from the
Spirit.
Crypt.
Yeah, and then Tales from the Crypt. That's a big one.
And then it was weird because, in fact, Frank Miller is a big pre-code horror fan.
He is.
And so we showed him some of our stuff, and he said that is very indicative right there of a lot of the pre-code horror. They had those little insets with the characters.
And Tales from the Crypt was a very popular one. And this is number 43, but what's interesting about Tales from the Crypt is they actually did not do number 1. This took over from Tales of Terror.
Okay.
And so this is now Tales from the Crypt, and it started at issue 23, 24, somewhere around there. And so 43 is only 20 issues in.
Wow.
It's not that far in. But again, these are some of the most expensive ones that you get, specifically in higher grade. This is probably $1,000 book.
And these are 1950s?
50s, yeah. This is 54.
1950s.
This stack has ranged from 52 to 54.
So, like
again,
I said,
all
before
pre-code.
regulations
the second
came
you get
in.
to about 1958-ish, that's when they started putting it on books.
And despite
you
what
got a lot of Superman, a lot of Batman, and of course nothing of this caliber.
And despite what your daughter thinks, I was not alive during that time.
I thought you were.
I was not.
Okay.
No, I was not.
I was going to make that joke, but I decided
hilarious.
not to.
Emma is saying right now, when you were in high school.
Yeah.
This looks like grave robbers.
Yeah, The Haunt of Fear, that was another very popular one. This changed into another title as well down the road, but this is Haunt of Fear, number 12.
Wow.
Again, this one alone, we paid $650 for.
Oh, wow.
So we paid $650 for
Because
this.
so many
This
of them
is
didn't
$800.
exist, right? I mean,
Again, another very
population.
rare book. But Sharon actually wrote an article on pre-code horror and some of the dates and time frames and stuff like that. What's interesting about this is a lot of comic collectors have, I like Daredevil or I like Spider-Man or whatever. But there's also genre of books, and horror books are very collectible and highly collectible. And you actually don't see a lot of them out in the market these days. So they're much harder to get. So it's kind of unique to see this many even at once in someone's collection. And they are highly collectible. If you watch heritage auctions and some of these bigger auctions, even eBay, you won't see many on eBay. And the ones that you see will be, the asking price is pretty darn high.
And a lot of companies are doing homage covers, which is a nice, remembrance of, remember when they used to do this. So there's a lot of companies that do the homage covers, which is
so it's really cool. It's really neat. So
a
we
lot
actually,
of interest.
Actually, one of our employees named Trent, he actually showed Sharon an homage cover one day to a horror book. She said, "Oh, I love that cover. That is beautiful." He's like, "Well, they actually make a real book." So she told me about it, and I was like, "Oh, interesting. Let me look it up." So sure enough, it was an expensive book, and so we ended up. She said, "I really like to collect some of these. They're really cool." So we started collecting. Well, she was wearing a shirt at MegaCon. MegaCon's in Orlando. It was in February this year, and she was wearing a shirt, and it said "Chamber of Chills," and it has a lady with a wine glass, but through the wine glass, half her face is eaten off.
Well, it's actually
It's
a skeleton.
It's like a skeleton.
Yeah.
It's scary. So it's scary, and it's
I
from
just
the 50s.
love the T-shirt.
Yeah.
And we turned around, and somebody had the actual book on the wall.
I was like, oh,
It's a real book.
Was that book bought by you?
And so we bought it.
I felt so stupid. I was like,
So that got me into the horror books and stuff like that. So now we've collected it. And again, when Frank Miller came down, we were able to
we were
show him our
flexing.
collection.
That's awesome.
So it was really cool. And he really enjoyed it. And that was really neat.
Yeah, he did.
So anyways, so we wanted to show you guys a little piece of history.
And if anyone has one at home, for goodness sakes, send it to CGC or call
get it
us,
graded.
and we'll.
That's why we
send it
do
for
everything
you.
graded. Because
these have
it
to be
encapsulated.
CGC.
It encapsulates them.
Even if they're a 0.5 grade, they're still worth a lot.
I actually have a 2.0 of Tales Witch, I think it's called, or Witch's Tales, like number 2 or something like that. It's like a $2,000 book.
Yeah, or if you see one, pick it up.
Because they're just rare. Some of these are just very rare.
Yeah,
So,
it's
anyways.
crazy. With you showing us these, it brings to life more about what you talked about with last
Collecting
week and the week
what
before.
you love, right.
And it's just crazy because, it went from a T-shirt that you were wearing
Correct.
to seeing
I
it,
had no
and now
idea.
you've got it.
And now we've got it. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that we ended up getting this Chamber of Chills 19, and it was a great book, and we loved it. but we ended up finding very few other ones out there, and they're actually really tough to get.
Yeah, again, the rarity of it.
So what we did is we went on the top 20 list. They actually have a top 20 list of horror comic books, and they're all from the 50s. None of them are the newer, what I consider the volume 2s and volume 3 horror books. None of them are on that list. They're all the originals, and so we started looking. We're like, wait, we have that one. Wait, we have that one.
That's
so
crazy.
It's kind of neat. We have like 3 or 4 of the top 20, which are tough to get. Some of them. The coolest thing is we have the number 1, which I'm not going to tell anybody what it is because you'll be like, wow. But we do have the top number 1 top horror book that everyone has slated as the number 1. So we do own one.
Yeah, it's a cool piece of history.
Cool piece of history. And again, pre-code horror. Again, before Congress made them do something about the images and the things they were putting in books. So
that's
very,
crazy.
very cool stuff. So anyways, so that's a little slice of what we collect and a little slice of knowledge for you comic book collectors out there.
And so when you think about everything that they've talked about today, number 1, the passion and the fun that's behind it all.
Oh, 100%.
And then, which is a lot of what people think about right now is the monetization of it, having the money. And it's just, it's fun. It makes life so much better.
Like a bank account.
Right. And that's what's so fun about it, being able to do something you enjoy and, being able to learn, because you had to learn all of this stuff.
Oh, yeah, and I did. I didn't know anything about this a year ago.
That's honestly, what I mean, yeah.
Honestly, I didn't know anything about this a year ago. And a year ago, she came to me and said, look, we should collect some of this, too. I'm a coin collector by heart.
And then again, to come full circle, to have, like, Frank Miller come visit, and he was like, oh, yes, I want to see it,
Yeah. We pulled out our collection and showed it to him.
It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, and it was funny because I had a 1970s one that actually is a very rare one and very expensive. And he's like, that's not free code. So I was like, I know, Frank.
I only like the 50s.
Frank, I know it's not. Shut up. How about that?
How about that? That's so good.
It's funny, but anyway, so
that was funny.
But yeah, it's a wonderful thing to collect, and that's why I try to tell everybody. You can see the passion we have, and collect what you love.
That's right.
Yeah, and you never know. Like Labubus are out. Who knows? Are they going to last? Who knows?
Who knows?
By the way, guess who's making a Labubu product?
Oh, who?
Tops.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they are. They got a SpongeBob product. They're going to make a Labubu product.
I think they're cute. But again,
they scare me.
Does it, have lasting power? Don't know.
I got one word for you. Well, it's actually technically 2. Beanie Baby.
Right.
There you go.
Boo.
And like the most expensive Beanie Baby, I think,
to be fair,
like a Princess Diana.
To be fair, they printed a whole lot of Beanie Babies.
Yep.
Right, but again, it's about rarity.
That's right.
That's true. Well, guys, we appreciate you coming in. We're so thankful for it. Thank you for changing your schedule to be here for us on Wednesday.
And
then bringing
guys.
the stuff in to let us actually see it, put our eyes on it.
And actually, we need to do that more. Like when the Simpsons Silver comes out, we'll make sure and bring that
South Park.
I'm sorry, South Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either way, that'd be great. I love all of it.
We have the Simpsons too.
Yeah, we have the Simpsons.
We should
as well.
bring that in.
Those are from 2018. Those are pretty rare.
Yeah,
that's
cool. We'll bring that in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, the boss has spoken, so it's going to happen. So either way,
wait, I didn't say that.
We appreciate you doing. We appreciate everything you guys do here.
Thank you.
Go
so
see
much.
those guys over there at PCB Hobby. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on the internet. You can find them on eBay, as well as going to the physical store over there on Back Beach beside Florida Linens. So either way, go visit them, go say hello, tell them you are stopping by because you saw them on the show. That'd be great. When we come back, we're going to discuss more of this college football carousel. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
James Franklin got fired as the head coach at Penn State. If you want to be a big-time program, you have to have high standards. Michigan wouldn't have settled for that. Ohio State, just to name a few. You don't lose those games. You don't lose that many games to top 10 teams. And they did, and it cost you.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
A.E. Wright Investigations serves Bay County and the surrounding communities with a wide range of investigative services, including insurance fraud. When you feel a private investigator is needed, A.E. Wright Investigations is here to assist you. Please reach out at any time, 850-588-9275, and online at aewrightinvestigations.com. And take comfort in knowing that all investigations, consultations, and services provided are strictly confidential. For the license, A350007.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Kurt Price, you're back on the program. Why are we calling it permission to party?
Certain times you get a permission to party, and it's always when the person that doesn't drink says, I don't know, do you want to do a specialty cocktail tonight? And you're like, I just got permission to party. That energy is the reason I party. And the reason I'll never stop partying. We turned on the hot tub last night, and Leanne goes, should we open a bottle of rosé? And I go, oh, we're getting lit tonight. Like, that energy is what I'm looking forward to.
Rich Eisen weekdays starting at 11, now on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. If you have a problem with our hot takes, call us and say it to our face.
10 years from now, I'll be making a difference in this world while you'll be sitting there getting your diaper changed by your nurse.
The Sports Blitz is on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget to call in, text in on the Red 7 Tees phone line, 850-215-6290. It's an awesome day. We appreciate it for you listening and commenting and liking and sharing on all of the apps and all of the social media stuff that we're on. So either way, we appreciate it. And we can't do any of these things without our wonderful sponsors. Don't forget, AutoNation Ford, Panama City, your go-to for service, your go-to for vehicle, any type of stuff. If you need maintenance for your cars, we've got the parts there to help you and to take care of every need that you have. Go visit those guys, AutoNation Ford in Panama City. Also, don't forget, if your car needs any kind of repair, I heard a story about a guy today that he was riding down the road on 15th Street and a motorcycle come in behind him and weaved in between him and another person. And when he did, he knocked his mirror off. And so, hey, go see those guys over at Recommended Collision Center. They can get your mirror put back on. They can get you a new mirror. They can paint the cap, because you don't need a full paint job when you just need the top of your mirror painted. So either way, go see those guys. Tell Brandon you heard about it from the Sports Blitz, and they will give you a discount. Those guys are local, and they do good work. So either way, make sure you do that. Brian, when we talk about all of these coaches that are having the opportunity, there's a lot of coaches. I'd like to pick your brain on a couple of them because I know that
won't take long.
That Penn State is the job that everybody's kind of looking at right now. Obviously, after this weekend, we'll probably be changing the narrative. There'll be another job open for sure.
Good thing.
But there's, some people talking about Will Stein, the offensive coordinator for the Oregon Ducks. Mm-hmm. Alex Golish from the University of South Florida. Ryan Silverfield from Memphis, the head coach there. Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator for Miami. And then don't forget Blake Baker down there at LSU, defensive coordinator. And then the last one that I'd like to get your thought on would be Dan Mullen, the undefeated coach, if they were to be able to pull off the upset and beat Boise State this weekend. Would he be a name that would be entertained at some of these bigger jobs?
He'll certainly be entertained. How big a job is questionable because Dan Mullen, I thought, did an excellent job at Mississippi State. I'll be honest with you, in generally coaching football, he did a good job at Florida.
X's and O's is good. Yeah.
The problem is Dan Mullen does not like the grind of recruiting, going out there and having to kiss butt on a 17-year-old kid who thinks that, and they've been told their whole life they're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yes.
What Dan Mullen likes to do is go find a gritty 3-star and turn him into a solid football player. You can do that at Mississippi State.
Yes.
You can do that at UNLV. I don't think you can do that at a program like Florida. The expectations are different. The talent level is different, and it's a different animal. So I don't know that any of the big boys are going to come a-calling, but could Dan Mullen elevate, get back into a conference, get into a situation, maybe, I'm not saying specifically Arkansas because I think that's locked down for Petrino, but that could be a spot, or, if a Wisconsin, something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I think he's a good coach. I think his record speaks for that. Now, I think it's a little overinflated, because his record at Mississippi State was basically the same as Mike Leach and as Joe Moorhead, but they got to number 1 for a week.
Right.
And so it's a little bit of, but he's a good coach. And don't forget, in 2020, they gave Alabama the hardest game they had that entire year. So
they did.
So, yeah, he could. I don't think he gets into play at Penn State. I don't think he gets into play at an Auburn. Certainly don't think he's coming back to Gainesville. Maybe Wisconsin. Maybe that next tier, we'll have to see.
Yeah, the funny name that was brought up, to me was Bill O'Brien. That there would even be a possibility, but he's on the list.
I think Bill O'Brien's a good head coach. I don't think he's a good coordinator.
Right. I don't see him being big ball, because what you said is exactly how I feel. You've got the coaches that can take those 3-star type programs, the 3-star athletes, and turn them and get them to play really good and turn them into good football players, get drafted, go be a serviceable player, a starter in the NFL, something like that. But when you go to these Floridas, when you go to Penn State, when you go to these big time jobs, that you're going to get the 5-stars. Now you're going to get the recruits from the NIL portal that you've got to now get, you've got to evolve into that as well. And it's so big and so crazy. And I'm just thinking, it feels like, if Penn State doesn't go with Matt Rule, if they do go with Matt Rule, I can see it 100%. I think that's kind of where everybody's leaning towards, you and me both. Yeah. But if you look at these guys that are with the Oregon team, when you look at these guys that are winning like Memphis, and you see those guys like Cignetti, those are the guys that now are becoming the most sought after. And when you look at them, that's who you're going to start seeing in these major programs. And then what will happen is, are they going to be the type of coach like Billy Napier that dominated his smaller school, but really can't get it done at a large school?
It's so hard, because what you always see in major college football is they always hire the opposite of what they had, right?
Right.
So if you have somebody who's too lax, you go get the crazy disciplinarian. Or if you go to a mid-major like Florida and get a Billy Napier, chances are who they replace him with is probably going to need to be a splash name.
Yes.
Or if you go get a coordinator, the next time you tend to want to hire someone with head coaching experience. Yes. So that will play in the fan base, because all you know as a fan is what you don't like about what's currently there.
That's so true.
And so you always tend to overcorrect the other way. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw out a name of somebody here that I think should be being talked about all the way across the board, not just because of their success on the football field, but because this is a club that has vastly jumped their NIL game, and he's been right in the middle of it. Joey McGuire at Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. That is a good football team.
Yes.
And nobody's talking about him.
Mm-mm.
And look out for this guy. He would be somebody I would not have a problem in the world taken into one of these bigger jobs. And I know he's not a sexy name because no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
I had to look it up to make sure. Yeah. I thought that was it, but I'm telling you, this guy would do an excellent job because not just he's good at coaching football, but he has been in a program that has gone nuclear with their top 10 NIL spending. He's been right in the middle of it. So if you want to up your game, why not bring in somebody who's been in the middle of it? So look at a guy like Joey McGuire as well, maybe getting their name into, if a couple more big jobs open. Let's assume the Florida's open, maybe an Auburn opens. Yep. You know, maybe there's one we're not thinking of. What if USC lays an egg here and they just decide they're done with Lincoln Riley? I mean, I mean, what if somebody else in the SEC just starts falling apart?
Or the other flip of the coin is that what if somebody that is already at a good job goes over to Penn State? You know, I know that someone sent me a screenshot of Kalen DeBoer's name's been named as a person of interest for Penn State. Yeah. And that's what you got to look for, too, when all of these things start happening. Where's everything going to fall? Then you've got the older guys that have made the Jimbos and the Ogerons of the world that want to get back into coaching.
I mean, LSU's only a game or two away from wanting rid of Brian Kelly.
Exactly right.
That's a huge job.
Yes, and Norvell, whether people want to say whatever, he's on the cusp of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, what if somebody snaps up? I don't think Cristobal would leave Miami, but what if the dominoes could fall as well. So, yeah, there's a lot to play out. What if some of these guys want to try their hand in the NFL?
Because that's going to be open. That was my next question. Is you're going to have some NFL jobs opening. You've got the Browns and the Dolphins playing that say that's probably whoever loses that game is going to be out.
Yeah, you already have the Titans job open. And let's face it, nowadays with the way you have to recruit and all of the nonsense you have to deal with, college football coaching, I never thought I'd say this. It's significantly harder than NFL coaching.
Yes.
I think guys would go to the NFL to get a better quality of life. Did you ever think you'd hear that in your lifetime?
No, it's so hard now. Now you're having to do all the stuff, even, and I say this all the time about what Kirby said at the beginning of the year. Not only do you have to recruit these guys, you have to keep these guys happy throughout the whole year.
That's right.
To make them stay committed to your program. And, obviously a lot of these older guys that have been in coaching for a long time, they don't really want to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And so the NFL game now is easier, way easier, because you've got your support staff that handles the twos and pros.
It's defined.
Right.
College is the Wild West. And so the only way to get by in college right now is literally to work 365 days a year.
Yeah.
That's why you see so many guys, especially coordinators who've been around for a bit, the Matt Lukes and guys like that, they'll step away. They're just like,
yeah,
I don't want to keep doing this at this level. I have kids, I have family. I need an off season, even if it's only a month.
Right. And that's
they don't have it.
They don't have that. And I never would have thought it. And thanks for bringing that up. I never would have thought that the NFL job would be easier than the college job.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're living in a crazy, crazy world right now.
Yes, we are.
We appreciate you listening today. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Thank you, Brian, for being here. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. We're excited. SEC football, Tennessee, hate week.
You're home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
On the next Thursday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers and the 4-1 Steelers are at the 2-4